agójọ́ làbẹ́wé kúkú dùkú lóko Podium International wọ́n ti wà tipẹ́tipẹ́ látìgbà tí wọ́n ti ń bàbọ̀ wọn ò fìgbà kan tẹ́rì o wọ́n ti wá ṣe bẹ̀bẹ̀ wọ́n ti gbé bẹ̀bẹ̀ dé Podium Cinema ni wọ́n tún gbé dé Podium Cinema lórí YouTube ẹ fọ́lọ̀ wọn kẹ́ ẹ láìkì wọn kẹ́ ẹ subscribe ibẹ̀ lẹ́tì mọ̀ wọ àwọn àjá àbálẹ̀ fíìmù ẹ̀dọ̀kí fíìmù tó léfò gan tààrà Podium Cinema mo bẹ́rí fún yín fíìmù mẹ́sàn-án ọ̀tọ̀ọ̀tọ̀ ni wọ́n kó jáde o àwọn gbàǹkọ́gbé fíìmù èkíní májẹ̀mú ẹ̀gbọ́n èkejì my wet ẹ̀kẹta ọmọ ẹni ẹ̀kẹrin àlàmú èkó ẹ̀karùn-ún àìmọ̀ ṣẹ̀wárí pé nǹkan kì í ṣẹ̀ṣẹ̀ ràgó ó kọjá bẹ́ẹ̀ eléyìí lẹ́ti kẹjù èdè Yorùbá ni wọ́n fi ṣe àwọn fíìmù yìí ẹlẹ́ẹ̀kẹfà sẹ́ẹ̀kẹsàn-án èdè òyìnbó ni wọ́n kọ́ ẹ̀kẹfà tẹ́mà èkeje the casting ẹ̀kẹjọ M1 the detective ẹ̀kẹsàn 100 M1 the detective at 100 orí síríìsì lẹ́fì máa wò ó ìyẹn dàgbéléwò nìyẹn Podium International Podium Cinema ẹ fọ́lọ̀ wọn kẹ́ ẹ láìkì wọn lórí YouTube wọ́n wà lórí Facebook wọ́n wà lórí Instagram Podium Cinema ó ti dọbẹ̀ ẹ subscribe.
Ẹ kálẹ́ ẹ̀yin èèyàn mi nílé lóko lẹ́yìn odi mo kí yín lálẹ́ yìí mo dẹ̀ mú ọ̀rọ̀ pàtàkì wá fún gbogbo wa. For the people who cannot hear or understand me, I'm going to be speaking in Yoruba today. Ẹ jọ̀ọ́ ẹ má bínú, ó ṣe pàtàkì ni. So if you don't understand Yoruba, maybe you seek for translation later, because my address is to the Yoruba people. Àkọlé orí ọ̀rọ̀ tí mo fẹ́ sọ lénìí ni how Mrs. Dupe Onitiri shortchanged the Yoruba people in the year 2022. Quite a lot of people ló ti ń pè mí to ask pé kí ló ṣẹlẹ̀, kí ló dé? Were we not ready? How come the Yoruba project? Some people are waiting for the president of Yoruba to be announced today. But one thing tí máa sọ fún wa, I want to break it down so that kó lè yé wa níbi tó ti bẹ̀rẹ̀ and how we got ourselves into this mess. So it was exactly December 2021, Kate tó mú 2022. I think I'm not going to mention names, so ẹ jọ̀ọ́, and this is just to protect people, but some people, they would already know that I'm talking about them. But I'm not going to mention anybody's name apart from Mrs. Dupe Onitiri. But anybody I talk about, it's not to spite them, it's not to insult them, it's not to look down on them, because gbogbo wa la jọ ṣiṣẹ́, gbogbo wa la dẹ̀ jọ ní, if it is good, gbogbo wa la máa ní glory, and if it is bad, gbogbo wa la máa pinnu regret here. Myself, I do regret. So mo fẹ́ break it down kí n lè ṣàlàyé fún àwọn ọ̀pọ̀lọpọ̀ àwọn èèyàn so that they can know where we stand in the struggle and the way forward. So gẹ́gẹ́ bí mo ṣe ń sọ lọ, it was in 2021 December, YSDM wọ́n inaugurate YSDM in September 2021, and as of December, I don't think we've had enough officials. We've only got one directorate, which was the finance directorate. And we've got the chairman, the vice chairman, the general secretary, and the assistant general secretary. So one of the people to headhunt from Mrs. Dupe Onitiri came to meet me and said they want me to work with them. But then, okay, I don't understand how this work is going to be. This is December 2021. So they came to meet me and I said, I work with a team. So the first day they called, I tried to be Baba Wole. Baba Kintoye wonu call. So they called me on a Sunday morning. I don't know the particular date, but it will be after the 18th of December. So it could be 19th of December or 20th of December, thereabout. So call. I then called the officials we had, the few officials we had in YSDM, and we had that call. Mrs. Onitiri was on the call. At the low, over 1.5 hours on that call. And she brought a whole load of ideas. Bá ṣe máa open account, àwọn òyìnbó ló máa bá wa open account, àṣebí alpha beta ní ìgbádàwó, all those things she said. It became a lot confusing. Báwo lòyìnbó ṣe máa bá wa manage account wa and so many other things. After much back and forth, we told her about YSDM and that she should join YSDM if she wanted to, and we can all work together, and that YSDM is not an organization, it's just a platform that creates so that everybody can work together and grow together. Now, I'm not here trying to promote YSDM, so when you get me, I'm here to state the Yoruba project. So when you understand the two different things. YSDM is a different entity, Mrs. Onitiri is a different entity. So after the call, we came off that call, and it was on a Sunday. So Moshe de church ni join, and that was the whole of my service, even titi church if it and I had to go back home. So laying back that call, we say we'll go back and brainstorm and then see what Gbogbo àwọn nǹkan tó sọ. We'll see whether it's things that can be implemented within YSDM. It wasn't more than 5 minutes after that call, I got another call again. And the second call I got again was that wọ́n fẹ́ bá tíìmù ṣiṣẹ́, èmi gangan làwọn fẹ́ bá ṣiṣẹ́. So it was surprising for me. Pé èmi gangan làwọn fẹ́ bá ṣiṣẹ́. She, not only herself with her team. So, and then there were some things that she was mentioning that made me pushed back. Kí ló ń sọ? Immediately ló ti ń sọ pé project tó ń gbé dání, Ọlọ́run ti ní kó máa join ẹgbẹ́ kankan, it's not about ẹgbẹ́, òun ò bá ẹgbẹ́ ṣe, òun ò ṣe gbá, those were the languages that I was hearing. And anybody about Mobita Day, the problem we are having is because we have always built strong men and not strong institutions. And me, for one person, I would rather build a strong institution than a strong man. So that pushed me back a lot. So I told them straight that if you want to work with me, you work with my team. I have a very strong team that I work with. If you want to work with me, you work with my team. If you don't want to work with my team, then there's no even basis for discussion. But if there is any project, my skills will be useful, I can help you on that project, and that's all. But to come work with you, it will not be me. I cannot agree to that. So after that time, there was a day to work with me. It was the person who is in charge of their head hunting. Ló pè mí. So tí bá sọ pé wọ́n pè mí, it is that person ló máa kọ́kọ́ gbé mi wọlé before they now bring Mrs. Onitiri on the call. So when that person called me, they were now telling me how we put officials into YSDM, how we need to check them spiritually, bá ṣe máa fi tilé wò, and all those things, and all those that. Those things felt troubling to me. Àgbàlagbà dẹ̀ ni wọ́n. I didn't want to be rude. So they now said, wọ́n sọ̀rọ̀ lọ, wọ́n sọ̀rọ̀ bọ̀. I didn't say anything. So at this time, I don't engage them. So all of a sudden, ni a rí pé wọ́n ti gbé petition, the 5 million petition ní February. So ìgbà tó gbé petition dé ní February, before February, ìyàwó mi bímọ ní January. So I didn't have much time to dedicate to the activities. So February, the person who was head hunting for her called me and was telling me there was one baba yẹn, ó mọ̀ nípa ìṣẹ̀ṣe, ó lè ṣe gbá, ó lè ṣàwo, and they would bring him onto the call. So if I want, and when they brought this man, we are from the same Ondo state. Now, something happened on that call. That call lasted for over an hour. And on that call, I was meant to be defending Professor Akintoye from A to Z. Everything was just, nǹkan tó ṣẹlẹ̀ ní organisation míì tí bàbá Akíntóyè ò mọ̀ sí ẹjọ́ bàbá ni bàbá ló fà á, and I was like, how is this bàbá Akíntóyè's fault? So everything on that call was just me trying to defend bàbá Akíntóyè. Àwọn kan lọ gbowó níbì kan, bàbá Akíntóyè ló fà á, tí ò bá ṣe bàbá Akíntóyè àwọn. And I said, is there a matter you people want to address? Is this? I was at work that day. We spent over 45 minutes, 1 hour, discussing how Baba Money. If you have something to discuss, let us discuss it. If you don't have anything to discuss, ó yẹ kí bàbá pe committee, ó yẹ kí kọ́kọ́ pe committee, táwọn committee yẹn bá ti wá ṣe investigation. And I said, you are bringing allegation. Do you have any proof? Do you have any suspicion? Do you have any matter? They say, Baba, ó yẹ kí Baba Akíntóyè pe committee go investigate. I said, how can Baba Akíntóyè call the committee and start investigate a matter that he doesn't understand? So agonizingly, I just came off that call. After I came off that call, before you know it, the audio of that call started circulating the whole social media. And I don't want trouble. Immediately, I block gbogbo wọn. I think that was on the 24th of February. I blocked all of them and I didn't say anything again. Till today, I don't think I have unblocked them. So for the petition, the petition, we have a platform, Taman She Talk Show. And I said, I would bring Mrs. Dupe Onitiri. I have a phone number. I will call her and ask her to come explain what this petition is all about to our people. And if she can come explain it, we would help promote the petition and see how people can sign it. So Emeji ni mo pe Mrs. Onitiri. I called her mobile phone and it was a guy who picked it and said he was the PA. And Mrs. Onitiri was in a meeting. And after that 2 times, I never heard back from her. I didn't try back again until today. I've never called her phone since then. So on part of my series and lessons that I do, I did a 4-part series on Clubhouse. So if you go to Clubhouse, you see the title Yoruba Nation. If you go to Yoruba Nation, you see the title. I think I started that program in March. And the last part, the part 4, was on the 21st of April, 2022. So it was on that program, Nimo Shalaye, and I told them, I said, at the end of the day, what we would do is declaration. And declaration is not a new thing. Declaration, there are so many countries to teach a declaration. Norway declared their independence and broke up from Sweden in 1905. Ghana did a declaration in 1957. South Sudan did a declaration in 2011. Yugoslavia, Serbia, Herzegovina, quite a lot of countries did declaration. Some went in the way of war before they did declaration. Some went in the way of peace. In the case of Norway, they did declaration in August, and in October, they did a referendum and they came out. So declaration is not any new thing. So after that program, some few people approached me and said, I talked about declaration. What do I think about it and how will it go? And I told them and I said, and they said they want to go and declare. They said they want to declare, and I said, when? And they said they want to declare in June. And this was around, so that program was 21st of April. I think it was a week or 2 after. So that was May. And I asked, I said, why do you want to declare in June? They said they got intelligence. Attack in June. So they want to declare and take Yoruba out of Nigeria before the attack. I now laughed. Money declaration no ṣe nǹkan tí a kò lè dádé jáde. And let me explain what declaration means. If you want to declare, what you are telling to the world is that you are able to protect your territorial integrity. So if you cannot protect the lives and property of the citizens of your territory, that is not declaration. And I said, that is a serious job. And my statement, Timo, make Nipe, even if we start preparing from that day and everybody's hand is on deck, if we would be ready by December, we would be lucky. Declaration is not something you just stand up and say you want to declare. You have to enlighten your population. America did declaration. America knew what was declaration. America local declaration in 1776. But it was their parliament, it was their people, it was the people they elected in government that stood and say, no, we don't want to be under Britain anymore. And they signed it and declared. So that when Britain was coming with war, they said it was the people. So now it is a message we need to go and sell to the people, that we have given federal government every chance to negotiate with us, and they are not forthcoming. And the only thing remaining is declaration. So I said, even before you start saying anything, let's sit down and look what declaration will entail. And we sat down for a month and prepared the document and said, this is the things we think might be needed. If there is anybody who would want to go and work on the declaration, then they could. But it should not be something you take out and start shouting declaration. So in June, we had a meeting. So from February, I had not spoken, even from December also, I had not spoken with Mrs. Onitiri. So in June, we called a meeting and she was there. And she spoke and she said, oh, she would go out that night and she would start doing a program. Okay. And she went on air and she started shouting declaration, declaration, declaration. I, for one, I got mad. That why will you mention such a word in the public? It is not it's not for public consumption. You have to plan. You have to be prepared. You have to be ready. So when she started saying it, the people who were advising her, I believe they now went and told her that you don't go out and mention declaration. And one thing with her, Nipe, if you say something that she doesn't like, she just cuts you off. So she cuts those people off. And then they came, and then the following day or the following week, she came back and started saying, Buhari lo mashe declaration, ni United Nation. And for me, that was another lie. And I came out and I called one of the people and I said, why will this woman go out and be telling lies to the people? Buhari lo ma lo ṣe declaration in United Nations in September. So the whole of Yoruba mind, we are waiting for September. Buhari ma lo ṣe declaration. And I kept telling people, that declaration is not like that. How are you people so? I don't understand. Now, Òmìnira Yorùbá tó ń pè yẹn, the Òmìnira Yorùbá was first formed in our secretariat ní YSDM láti kọ́kọ́ fọ́ọ̀mù Òmìnira Yorùbá. Lẹ́yìn ìgbà tó create central create account yẹn, and some people were saying nasty things, lọ́ fi close account yẹn down. So they now took that name and started using it. For the same Mrs. Onitiri tó ní òun ò bẹ́gbẹ́ ṣe o, òun ò ṣe gbá o, òun ò ṣe kinní o. And once they've got 5 million petition, they've opened an organization, Òmìnira Yorùbá 2022. So everybody started running with the vision. But any vision you are running with falsehood, you cannot see the end of the day. So àfìgbà tó di the people surrounding Professor Akintoye ló fà á tí she doesn't want to speak with Professor Akintoye. And a lot of people were saying a lot of things about her, pé politician ló rán igbá kan. I kept saying that I see the passion in this woman. I see the passion in this woman, and she's fighting for Yoruba Nation. She may be doing it misguidedly, but maybe with time she would come to see the truth and work with the team. And if we all don't work together, then there's a big problem there. But we were hoping that maybe the people who know her, the people who speak with her, the people who understands her will tell and speak sense into whatever she is doing. Eléyìí ò dáa, tọ̀hún ò dáa, tibí ò dáa, tibí ò dáa. Before you knew it, she splitted the Yoruba medias. Some media were promoting her, and some media were promoting. And I was like, when did we become like this? Or Paul, when did I die for you? I am only a messenger. When has the messenger become the message? And some people will say, Mosheti Babakitoye, Mosheti Dupe Onitiri, Mosheti Ejo ti Yoruba Nation ni ki gbogbo wa ṣe. Nothing for Mosheti ẹnìkan, Mosheti kini. And let us all face where we are going. I just kept mute. I kept my cool. I didn't say anything. I was just monitoring. But we were working tenaciously to see that we can at least do what we want to do for the people to speed up our withdrawal process from Nigeria. Nobody said it's going to be easy. Nobody said it's going to be straightforward. We know it's going to be tough, and we were prepared to work. Ìgbà tó dẹ̀ yá, àwọn ọmọ bó ṣe máa ṣe, òun mọ ibi tó máa gbà, ọ̀nà tó máa gbà, òun ti bá 100 countries sọ, òun ti wọ́n ti sign, àwọn ti ṣe kínní, àwọn ti. When they did not even go anywhere, they kept telling you they would wọ́n ti mọ ibi tó ń lọ. What that did was, ìgbà tó ń sọ fún àwọn ọmọ Yorùbá pọ́n ti parí iṣẹ́, gbogbo àwọn tó fẹ́ dáwó to support the movement, to support everything we are doing, they all kept back because Mrs. Onitiri told them she has finished the work. She has written diplomatically to all the countries of the world. 110 countries are now standing. They are now supporting Yoruba. They are now shaking declaration local. But the process of declaration, she was not saying because she had none. And that left, and that went. Ìgbà tó tún yá, ló bá ní àwọn máa ṣe declaration. In fact, it was one day I got a call from Professor Akintoye in the morning, and he said, ẹ kú oríire o. Mo ní dáàdì kí ló ṣẹlẹ̀? He said, ọlẹ́ ti declare ìlú yín. And I said, is that a joke? I never heard anything about that. Is that how they do things? And the international community, they are looking at us, they are watching us, they're seeing everything we're doing. Everybody began to become worried. And that singular act, I'm not going to mention the damage it did to our struggle. I'm not going to mention the singular act of Mrs. Onitiri's declaration, the damage it did to our struggle. So I'm going to leave it there. And then, as if that was not enough, when she saw that the declaration would not work, she came on air and started saying, òun lòun ní declaration, olóyè ló ní rally. I mean, what is the difference? What is rally? What is declaration? In case don't bá fẹ́ mọ̀, people like Akiola George in Adamasingba Stadium in 2017, Lottie declared Yoruba Nation. They declared Yoruba Nation in Otoge Rally and said enough is enough. That was the signal for the beginning of the Yoruba Nation journey. Tí gbogbo wa wá join. Even at that time, Professor Akintoye has not even joined the struggle. 2018, 2019, ni Babashe was struggle. Èmi gan, I joined in 2020, and I have been following them. So, ṣé àwọn tó ti wá ń ṣe bọ̀ láti join, ṣé wọn mọ̀ ṣe ni? And the people who will join us tomorrow, ṣé ṣé ibì kan ni àwọn kan máa gbé dé? We need to push this, and we need to push it to the extent that the Nigerian government will have no other choice than to say, you people, what do you want? Yoruba Nation, have it, and you can go. And that is where we are pushing it to. The declaration is not declaration unto war. And we kept saying it. It's not declaration unto fighting anybody. We are not going to pick up arms to fight any law enforcement. We are not going to pick up arms to fight any. All we are going to say is we are going to stand on our 2 feet, and we are going to say we want Yoruba Nation, and the national community must heed what we are saying, because self-determination is a right. It's a people's right. It's human right. It's God-given right. Ìgbà tó kúrò ní declaration, and what we've said is we are going to do rally, and we're going to do the rally before the end of the year. We will do rally. Mrs. Onitiri kept chanting reclamation. Rally làwa la fẹ́ ṣe, and you say you want to do reclamation, and she started mixing the whole things up. She started mixing the whole things up. We called for rally for 17th of December, and she came out and said she wants to do reclamation on the 18th. Confusing the whole journey. If you know you want to work with the people, why not let all of us sit down and talk and know what plan to do? Why are you are pariwo pé àwọn ló fẹ́ gbé yín lọ sí 2023? But when the people are standing and saying this is what they want to do, you come out with an alternative program just to confuse a lot of people that do not understand what is going on. So ẹ̀bẹ̀ ni máa bẹ̀ àwọn ọmọ Yorùbá, ibi tá a dé dúró ńsìn, ọ̀nà àtúnṣe wà o, ọ̀nà àtúnṣe wà. Bẹ́ẹ̀ politician ló ràn wá o, ó kù sọ́wọ́ ẹ̀, ó dẹ̀ kù sẹ́lẹ̀dá ẹ̀. But everything she has done so far, and now that she said 2022, ẹ jẹ́ kó gbé 2022 ẹ̀ kó gbé dání. Ọ̀nà àbáyọ wà. Ibi tá à ń lọ ò jìnnà mọ́. Ibi tá à ń lọ kò jìnnà mọ́. There is a way forward, which I'm not going to be stressing here today. On Tuesday, 3rd of January, in about 2 days' time, in Clubhouse, we will be discussing the way forward. So the link will be sent out. If you want, it's going to be an interactive session. The way forward. There is a way forward, and we will get to Yoruba Nation. Àwọn míì sọ pé election. I don't believe in any election, because in 2014, I called a lot of my friends, don't want Nigeria, I didn't vote, and I told them Buhari is not going to do anything good for anybody in Nigeria. They all kept shouting, say Baba, say Baba, say Baba. Dollar went from $1 135 now to $1 800. There is no electricity, there is no water, there is no good roads, there are no schools for your children, there are no hospitals. You are more likely to die of heart attack in Nigeria because there is no defibrillator within 20 kilometers. Is that the country I will believe that people should go and vote in election 2023? I will never, ever, ever send anybody to go and vote in election, because I don't believe in it. I don't believe that Nigeria has salvation for anybody. The politicians will come and they will tell us that I'm going to create 1 million jobs, but they will not tell you how they will create that 1 million jobs. They will not tell you how they will bring water. They will not tell you how they will build roads. They will not tell you how they will build schools. And those are the people that talk about. So the only appeal to my Mrs. Onitiri, nobody is against you. Nobody is fighting you. If you want to work with, there are a lot of people, don't share. People are working in their different organizations. People are working fantastically in their different organizations. People are collaborating. No one person has to be in an organization. No one person has to be in any organization. But when people are working, if you want to put progress, support them. If you know you don't want to put progress, don't put spinal in their works. You promised 2022. 2022 is failed, and we all must accept that we have failed the Yoruba people, because we promised them a nation that will heal their wounds and bring development to them and their children. And we failed woefully, even myself included. Nobody is exonerated. We've all failed woefully. There is still a way forward. But all this act of calumny, mi ò bá bàbá ṣe, mi ò bá ilé ṣe, eléyìí ló fà á, tọ̀hún ló fà á, olóyè ni mo pè tó dáhùn, igbá kan dàwo, ẹjọ́ ẹ jẹ́ kó parí sí 2022. We are in 2023 now. However short, however long, tọ́lọ́run bá ní, we will have our sovereign nation. We already have our nation. We only need sovereignty for the nation. And the sovereignty belongs to the Yoruba people. And we must educate our Yoruba people to take that sovereignty in their hand and use it for themselves and for their family. So on Tuesday, January 3rd, Tuesday, 2023, not March, 2023, we will be discussing the way forward. Thank you very much. I'll see you again soon.